game for a while. We've got a lot of young players. It's the first trip to somewhere like Deeside. There's a lot of fans here. They create a lot of noise. Want the team to be nice and physical, and we stepped up. Tough first and second period for us, and going down by 1, I think we did really well to come back into the game and get that win.
How do you prepare for such a long journey over? What's the sort of process before the game?
I don't think you can really prepare for a bus journey such as this, a good couple of hours. Try and relax as much as we can on the coach on the way here, and as soon as we get here, get out, have a warm up, just get rid of the bus legs to get here, and make sure that we're ready for pub grabs.
And how do you think you'll use this game to move on for the rest of the season?
I think it's a very good starter for us. Deeside's always a tough test for the past few years that I've been here, and I know they've lost a couple of key guys in the last few weeks and from last season, but we always know it's going to be a tough game, and I think it's a good test for us and Deeside as well to go on for the season. I think we'll both be up there at the end of the year. And
what are your personal hopes for this season?
I'm hoping for top 3 minimum as our team. I've come back to the team after playing for the Spartans last year and playing for the team a couple of years ago, so I'm hoping to step up and provide the team quite a few goals for the year and propel them up to that top 3, maybe top 2. Looking to come in probably behind Solihull, with the strongest team in our league by probably quite a distance.
Welcome to Deeside. Tell us about the journey to Deeside that you've made this summer.
Well, I've just been playing all over the place really, and I just think it was time to come home. I live half an hour away, and it's good to come back to the local lads.
How did it feel when the decision was made for you to come back?
I was quite happy. To be fair, I get to play with all my friends again. It's been a long time since we played together.
And how did you feel that tonight's first game of the season worked for you?
I think it was a positive anyway, because that's our first game. We didn't have any pre-season games or anything, so it was quite a good performance. We had a short bench as well, and the lads who don't usually play and stuff, play on the 3rd and 4th line in practice. They got to step up today and they did pretty well.
How will you use this game to move forward for the rest of the season?
Just you learn from the mistakes you make.
And moving forward to next week, you got your local derby against Widnes. How do you think that's going to go?
I think it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a high intensity game anyway. There's a bit of history between both teams, even though they only just came into the league last year. But there's a bit of a grudge between the lads. I think it'll be a good game.
And what are your personal hopes for this season?
Playoffs.
How do you feel the game went for you today?
Really impressed, to be honest. We've had a couple of pre-season games to try and get rid of the summer break and get guys back into shape and whatnot, but it's always a tough test coming to Deeside. We played the first game of the season 2 years ago, picked up a win there, another tough battle. Last year we came here and lost twice. I would say the Deeside team we played tonight maybe wasn't as strong, but you always come to this building and you always expect a test. So to come here, to show the character, to get back from being a goal down with 10 minutes to play in the game, score 2 goals, and then just battle it out to win the game was really impressive for me.
We've heard from one of your players tonight. How do you as a coach personally prepare for this game itself?
Well, for me, last night I was sat at home just checking out all the scores around the league. I'm a bit of an anorak when it comes to checking out how everyone's getting on. This morning, just lie in, relax, try and get down to the rink about an hour before we're due to leave. Make sure I'll get around all the players, speak to everybody individually and see how they're getting on. And then the way over, it's a 2-hour card game, and then get set for the game when we get here.
How do you feel ice hockey as a sport is developing in Sheffield?
In Sheffield, I would say we're probably the biggest club in the country, with teams from under-8s all the way through to 2 senior teams. Then we've got EPL, and we've got obviously the Steelers across the road, Elite League. But sometimes that makes it difficult for us because we're always setting the standard so high. And when we come to a place like Deeside, where this is their one senior team in the whole town, obviously this is the main team, and we're effectively a 4th string team in Sheffield. But I think we do hold our own in this league. We try hard, we work hard. The team ethic's all about hard work, passion, and just trying to grind results out as best we can.
And speaking of Sheffield itself, it's a special year this year with it being the 10th anniversary. How does Sheffield plan to mark that? Have you got any special events lined up, or the team itself?
Well, that's the Spartans team, which is the Moral League Conference team. That's their 10th year. There will be some events, no doubt, going through. The Senators, our team, we've been, this is now our 5th season, so we're a few years behind them, but yeah, it's going to be a big year for Sheffield Ice Hockey.
Steve, talk us about your summer. Tell us what's happened, what changes have been made.
Well, quite a transition really. We've seen a number of players go out of the club. Sean Kippin, who's been a really big influence here. I'd say he's one of the key members of the team. Moved on. He's got married and he's gone back to Whitley Bay. You know, which was always going to happen. It was just a case of seeing how long we could prolong that from happening. So that's a big loss for us. No imports this year. So we haven't got Pete Gaston, who's a solid D-man, and we haven't got Dan Anderson Slowberg, isn't it? I think his name, Slowberg Anderson. He went back to Sweden nursing a shoulder injury that he never really recovered from, and he was obviously carrying a few extra pounds, so he was struggling a little bit. But yeah, so tonight we didn't have any imports, and that's been a little bit frustrating because I know the majority of the teams we play have imports and we haven't got any. We've also quite recently we signed Jordan Bannon. He's such a talent really. He's only 21, and we thought that was a really good signing to get back on board. But then due to work commitments and them changing really, he's managed to change his shift around, so he wants to play at the higher level, and you know, you can respect that because he's such a talent. So you know, I got a call from him over the weekend, or just before the weekend, saying that I'd been asked to sign back at Blackburn, so he's gone to play at the higher level he can play, and you know, on some level he probably could play higher than that in the Premier League. So and then today I got a phone call from Mike Jones, Big Mike, saying that his wife had gone into labour. So again, that just it was like, oh, dear me, what's going on? What are we going to do? So it left us really short benched. But you know, we've made some really good signings over the summer. So we brought in Mike Roden from Telford. He's a solid D-man. Played tonight, played a good game. Likes to put the body about. Bryn Roberts from Telford Tigers, obviously, who just interviewed. Bryn's a big guy, and he's got really good hands, and he can pass the puck well. Got a good shot. And it's nice for Bryn to bring him back here because Bryn's a local lad, you know, and the same with his brother Aled, who's I don't know, he's probably about 6'6", 6'7", so he's a massive lad. And again, these boys have come from roller hockey, and when they were younger, I used to coach them, and now they're playing in the same team. So, yeah, it's good to bring them guys back. And Paul Davis again. We signed Paul Davis, who he got some really good points for Telford last year. He's away this week. He's back next week, and he's very similar to Ben Simister. Really, he's a workhorse. He works really hard, and he grinds, and he'll come up with the points for us, I think. So, you know, there's been lots of outs, but lots of ins really over the summer. So a transition. But also we wanted to bring youth through the academy, and I think we were missing one of our main talents. Well, two of them really. Ross Kennedy, he was away on holiday. You know, he's only a young lad. He's 16, I think. He's a huge talent. And Sam Kapransky, who was showing a lot of potential last year. You know, scoring against the big teams like Salion. Sam's unfortunately was struggling with an injury, so he's had an operation, so he's probably going to be out for the season. So there was an opportunity for three other young lads to step in, Ben, Chad and Dalton. So yeah, it's a good experience for them to come in, and you know, I think like Bryn was saying earlier, it was an opportunity for guys to be on the stage really and see what they can do. So a lot of learnings for me from tonight's game. But also, you know, I think we've said is the difference between preparations before your game. We haven't really had a good preparation. We were supposed to play some pre-season friendlies and they didn't happen. So you know, I think that was that's impacted on us as well, because that was our first real game tonight. And unfortunately, I went with a strong first line, and then I had the second and third line that were trying to kill the game a little bit, and they did that, and they did it fantastic. The only problem was, as we got into the third, I think we were all feeling it, and the little mistakes were happening, and I made some mistakes, you know, because we were all starting to feel it a little bit. So, good game of hockey, really. Not too disappointed, really.
How do you find it as a player coach?
Well, again tonight, Lol Paul, who's the bench coach, wasn't here. He's away in his holiday home in where is he? Portugal. So he's there for 3 weeks. So again, what's been useful is when I'm playing, then Lol runs the bench, but he's not here. So again, there was more added pressure to try and organise the bench, and I did ask some of the senior lads like Chris Jones and Mark Lovell and Sign and some of the other guys, just to take a bit more responsibility as a senior players to organise while I'm not on the bench if I'm on there, and that happened in training. We had a really good training on Thursday, and today, you know, I think it would have been a lot better if we had Lol there, but you know, we just managed really.
And particularly after today's game, after the first 2 periods, it was still goalless. What do you say in the dressing room to motivate the players to keep going and try and get those goals?
Well, I know the guy that I brought in to help run the bench, he was wanting to change it up, and I said, well, we can't really, because we haven't conceded any goals, you know, so why would we change it round? Because the game plan's actually working, really. Let's keep it tight and let's take it into the third period, because we were so short bench and we were playing guys that were getting regular shifts that don't usually get too much ice time due to the shortage. So the game plan was actually working. I think when we got that first goal, and knowing from how we are as a team previously, is we can switch off and be complacent, and the amount of times where we score a goal and then they score in the first minute or two afterwards, it happened to us all the time last year. So when I checked on the clock, I think we scored our goal with about 12 minutes left in the game, and it would have been nicer if we had like 4 minutes left in the game, you know. But again, their goals came from 2 power plays as well, so we made it really difficult for them. And I said to George at the end of the game, I said, that's the best I've ever seen you play, because he was outstanding tonight. He played really well. Some of our kids did well as well, you know, gaining zone, looking for the pass in the slot, and we certainly had our chances, and I would say there was we could have had 3 goals easily if we just focused, and Lady Luck was on our side, you know.
Local derby next week, preparations,
Yeah.
changes?
Yeah, well, Widnes, yeah. Again, Widnes, very strong team. Good hockey team, really. If we're thinking of how quickly they've established and where they are, they're doing really well. You know, and that's about the organisation off the ice as well as on the ice. So yeah, it'd be an interesting game, and it's our local derby now. So I'm sure it'll be an interesting affair.
And long term, what are your hopes for the season?
Well, I think we're looking at top 4. You know, our goal is top 4 finish, and we'll look at bringing some of the youth through the academy. I think that ultimately has to be our goal each year, because you know, if you look at Sheffield tonight, they just had about 3-4 lines of senior players, because they've just got the pick of the bunch, really. And what we need to do is we need to get more kids playing ice hockey for the junior club, and get them coming through the ranks, really, and then getting ready to play for the senior club, because at the moment there's quite a big jump, really, in ages. You know, I'm 30, I'm 37, then next to me there's guys at 32, and then there's a jump down to 26, and where's all the guys in between? You know, we should have more, but unfortunately we haven't. So I think it's a long-term plan, really, to try and bring some kids through the academy, and then hopefully we can just feed them into the teams, you know, come 5 years to come or whatever.